What's happening, everybody? What's going on? Microphone is on. Heck yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? This evening? This fine Friday evening? 87 people in the chat. Thank you for being here. I expect a bit of a smaller group tonight. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Super sorry. Like I was saying, expecting a little bit of a smaller group tonight because a ton of you who probably aren't watching, but maybe normally would, are at Pours in the Barn or Bourbon in the Barn or Drinks by Dan or something. Whatever's happening, Bourbon in the Barn with Dan and Sean, Evernorth Spirits, the Bourbon Junkies. Couldn't make it this year, unfortunately, but next year I'm going to do everything in my power to go. Was expecting to be able to go this year, but unfortunately could not make it happen. Next year, though. Next year, it's going to happen. So hopefully, everybody has an amazing time over in Lower Michigan. Friggin' trolls below the bridge. Hopefully everyone has an awesome time if you are there, and just enjoy yourselves and be safe. It's an awesome thing that they do every year. It's a great meeting of friends and new faces, old friends, new faces, new friends, old faces, you know. And I want them to be able to continue to do it every year, so hopefully everyone has an amazing time and behaves themselves. That's coming from me. So behave yourself. Behave yourself if you're there, and enjoy it. And drink some fine spirits for me. So, I'm here in Colorado, but tonight I have blind flight of a bunch of Russell stuff. A bunch of the Russell, I know everyone's been doing it, so I was like, I'll jump on board. I'll jump on board the fad wagon. Fad wagon? Fad is, what is a fad? Like something that's popular at the moment? I think that's what that means, and that's what I'm doing. Jumping upon the Russell's Reserve fad. Eric B's in the house. My mama's in the house. Hi, Mom. Josh Fritz, Hollywood Marine, Whiskey Derg, Michael's here. Jason Kobe, Jeff Perkins, Dave Markowski, Robert E., Joe the Sample Guy. What's going on? Corn Dog Pete. That's a hell of a name. Corn Dog Pete is here. Bob Glass is here. Hey, Bob. What's going on? Bourbon Jerk, Sawdust and Coffee. Joey B is here. What's going on, everybody? A fun little stream planned. Going to start it off with a blind sample right after talk about... Sorry. Ascot Award is in the way. Boom. Oh, and there's a turkey, too. A little bit of turkey. Stick around, turkey. Well, now it's on the floor. Anyway, I want to talk about... There's a video coming out tomorrow for these, but the Barrel King releases for August, batches 91 and 92, are fantastic again. Batch 91 was a collaboration blend between the folks at Barrel King, Jared mainly, and then myself, Dan and Sean of the Bourbon Junkies, and Ryan Alves of Justin's House of Bourbon. We went down to Missouri and did a holiday pick, and then headed over to Barrel King, where we just messed around and blended some whiskey, which turned into batch 91, 117.6 proof. It is MGP, different MGP barrels blended together. Some of them were from different types of barrels, like different char levels, different size barrels that had been rebarreled, a bunch of different things. Dan and Sean on the Bourbon Junkies channel, they have an entire video dedicated to this bottle that's live now. You should go watch it. Don't watch it right now, but watch it after. Put it in your watch later folder. And then it was eventually finished in apple brandy barrels, and it is absolutely wonderful. Tasting notes coming tomorrow in the video dropping for these. Then batch 92 is a Jared special, which is the very first ever Barrel King that isn't all MGP. This son of a gun, 113.7-ish proof, is mostly MGP, but then some distillate from Southern Distilling from North Carolina in there as well. Partially finished and double oaked. Partially finished and stagged, partially double oaked. Like, super cool, because the stuff that, it's always interesting working with new things, like new tools, right? New materials, I guess you could, probably not tools, more like new materials. That's kind of what the whiskey is in this situation. And when presented with new materials, Jared knocked it out of the park, because this is a friggin' gangster bourbon. And I absolutely love this one too. This, along with 91, will be in the tasting notes for tomorrow, but only available if you're a Barrel King Gold member. Link to become a Barrel King Gold member is the first link in the description of this live stream. So become a Barrel King Gold member and enjoy the fruits of being one. And by fruits, I mean liquid fruits. They're not fruit. It's bourbon. But some of it's very fruity. They're just awesome this month. August releases are fantastic. Link in the description below. Check out Barrel King if you haven't. You will not be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, be the first one. Be the first one that I know of. The other ones are probably complaining about free cars and like living forever and other things that are just amazing that nobody will complain about. TV Yankee fan is here. You're awesome. Sorry, but not sorry that the fishing channel failed. Yeah, the fishing channel was a disaster. Hard to catch fish every time you fish. And that's what people want, is to see you catch fish. Bourbon Jerk, $10 super chat. Thank you. Gonna miss you at Pours tomorrow. Cracked both your Evernorth picks tonight. The rye is absolutely insane, right? Isn't it? Then the bourbon is like super unique and super tasty as well. But yeah, thank you, Bourbon Jerk, for the super chat and for supporting the channel by purchasing those barrel picks. Evernorth has got a lot of cool stuff happening. Corn is a vegetable. You're right. Turn up the volume, please. Well, the volume is, it's, what do you call it? The volume is adjusted automatically by StreamYard. And the funny thing is, right before I started the stream, I turned up my mic sensitivity on the camera because somebody in one of my videos was saying that it seemed low. So let's see if this is any better. I'll go into my settings, audio. Oh, automatically adjust mic volume. That was turned off. Is that better now? Is that better now? Are you happy now? Grilling Oasis sending you greetings from Tallahassee. Tallahassee, is that, Florida's such a big state. Tallahassee sounds very far south though. Was that the, like, way down there? Tommy D, wish you could make a Michigan trip. Cheers, buddy. Have fun, Tommy. Enjoy yourself and be there next year for sure. For sure. Teeth and Mouth, doing good. Teeth and Mouth are doing good. I got a text message on the 1st about my appointment. I've got an appointment, my final, I don't know if it's my final appointment, but On the 21st, I go there. I'm not sure if I'm going to get, no, I'm probably not going to get them. I don't know. I have my next appointment on the 21st for my forever teeth, for the final good ones that are like made out of the good material, and I get to pick the color of my teeth. Super white. Conor McGregor white is what they're going to be. Ding, ding, just ding. Flashes of light everywhere I go. Every time I smile. Is not better. Your volume is low. How's your volume, Alex? Volume is a little low. Well, I don't know what the hell to do. I got... Put it closer to my mouth. Maybe. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Should be fine. I'm a soft speaker. I'm not yelling. This is my speaking voice, and it's the way it always is, but you know. This is all I got. It's all I got. Forgot what I was even talking about. But let's start the night tonight. Ah! The blind sample. Get the palate going for the Russell's flight. Let's hope it's not anything peated or like Amberana this time around. Got a little one. Pouring it in. Oh. Oh. I hope that's not expensive. We got 90% of it. 90% of it. That's the first time I've done that. That's the first time I've missed the glass, even a little bit. Got most of it though. That's the majority of an ounce. Oh boy. We'll find out what I spilled. Actually, I'll close my eyes. I'm feeling for the label. Oh shit, that feels, I can... Alright, that's, if you can see what it is. No spoilers in chat. No spoilers in chat. I don't know if you can see it or not, if it's in focus, but hiding it. And here we go. Yeah, so that's the problem with not looking. Because people will, like, even if I glance towards it, people are like, oh, you're cheating. You're cheating. It wouldn't be fun if I cheated. This smells very nice. Caramel apple. Oh, I think my nose is working good tonight. My nose is working good tonight. We've had a tough few days in the Porter household with my nose because there's been some olive oil cooking and like garlic cooking, and I cooked some scallops from a wifey in a cast iron. And you know how sometimes you cook something and then the smell of what you cooked just literally takes over everything in your house for a few days? That's what happened. So I went to smell whiskey and I was like, this smells like scallops and burnt olive oil. Turns out olive oil, low smoking point. Low smoke point in olive oil. Really stinks up the old house. But I think it's back. My nose is back. And that smells like caramel apple. There is not an overabundance of oak, but an abundance of oak. What is abundant? Does abundance mean a lot and overabundance means too much? So maybe not even an abundance, but quite a bit. A hefty supply of oak, but it's not abundant. The more you say abundant and abundance, the funnier it sounds when you say it. It loses its meaning. Jared Renfro's up in the house. What's up, Jared? Jason Kobe's here. Oh yeah, I already said Jason Kobe's here. Duh, Christian is here. Put it closer to my mouth. That's what she said. Oh, yeah. Why do you even attempt? No, because Michael, there's been times There's been times where it's been visible. It's happened before where people have been able to see it. My my percentage of making that happen is probably around 50% or 30%, maybe around 10%, probably, if that. But it's happened once or twice. I really hope they make the 15-year standard release. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it ain't happening. But yeah, that would be great. If the 15 years is standard release, that means that Wild Turkey produced a ton of bourbon, like everyone's doing, and then the bourbon market crashed, and they just have all this whiskey that they need to sell eventually. Which would be good for bourbon lovers and their pocketbooks and getting good whiskey, but bad for people who make whiskey content on YouTube if no one's drinking it. You know what? Actually, I bet I don't think, you know what? I bet you not a lot of people who drink bourbon watch bourbon on bourbon YouTube. It's probably would maintain about the same audience, to be fair. All you nerds like me. Ooh, a little orange. Like an orange muffin. Orange muffin, caramel apple, or caramel apple, depending on how sophisticated you are. And some sweet oak. Distillery off the nose, if I had to guess a distillery. I don't even know why I'm making myself do this, but there's a hint of Buffalo Trace that like I thought for a second it might have been, but then kind of like brushed off. I don't think it's Beam, and I don't think it's Turkey, and I don't think it's Heaven Hill. So maybe a Barton? Barton or Old Forester, possibly. I don't know. We'll put it down the hatch and go from there. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Down the hatch. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's good. And higher proof than I thought it was going to be. What on earth is that? I'm so mad that I spilled a little bit of that now. Now I'm really mad about that. There is a little tiny bit of nuttiness to it on the back, but overall it's like super oily, super caramelly, like baked, cooked down sugars and oak, lots of oak. But it's an oak that's together, it's shining wonderfully together. Bourbon. It's got to be a bourbon, if I didn't say that already. Second sip is tamed down substantially. It reminds me a lot of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof when Elijah Craig Barrel Proof was awesome. I'm going to say it's Heaven Hill, 120 proof ish. But it's older. Maybe an old Heaven Hill something. Damn, that's good. 8.75, 8.75, 8.75. That's very good. What is it? Only one way to find out. Okay, well, this is why people think that I would be looking. No. Heaven Hill Heritage Collection, 18 year, 120 proof. So, wow. That is, damn, Bill Kavanaugh, thank you for that. When I said damn when I was feeling the label, I felt the label, but I felt it was a square, and I was like, well, Bill Kavanaugh's have squares on them. Hopefully I didn't spill any Heaven Hill Heritage Collection 18 year. Man, that is good. That is really good. That reminds me a lot of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, except for oak here. Dana says, Rebecca Creek, really? The cask strength 12-year Rebecca Creek, have you had it? Have you had it? That pours insane for it's so damn good. Not quite Rebecca Creek. They're right within the same, the same vicinity, but if your right arm starts to tingle, what the heck? Power through. Oh, oh no, can anyone get it? I got an email from someone saying cheating with bra lie. What? I don't even know what that means. Cheating with bra lie labels? What? Whiskey Nose is cracking the Bourbon Junkies Essence can picks now. Awesome. But so I guess that some people got them from Texas, but apparently they make a Rebecca Creek 12 cask strength, when even an older one, like a 16 year, which if it's the same distillate would be friggin' crazy. All right, I'm gonna save a little sip for, that'll be my nightcap. Actually, you know what? Damn. That would have been a good whiskey to put in the flight with the wild turkeys. Whoop. Oh. Ew, that's heavy. That's a big box. Uh-oh. I set it on my mic cable. Not as strong as I once was. My aching back. Back's feeling better this week, by the way. Finished up our Summer League bowling on Wednesday. We finished up. For the first time in my life, I can say that I came in third place. And there wasn't only 3 teams. So my wife and I we're on a team with another couple, as a lady she works with and her husband. Awesome people. Started the year off slow. Started the league off slow. I didn't know how to bowl on oil. Got much better at it as the season progressed. Third place out of 12 teams, third place. Way to go, Team Porter / other couple. All right. I'm going to label these, so bear with me. And if you're watching, then you've been bearing with me for years. So, just more of the same. See if we can get the same colors. Doesn't really matter to me, but to you it might. they can all be pink. So we have a Bottled and Bond 17 here, so I'll put 17 on that one. Then we have a Russell's 13, a Russell's 15, so 13, 15 generations, so that'll be GN, and then single Rick is SR. Double stickering so that nothing is visible through the bottom of the glass. Well, we're getting close. All right. Yeah. Alrighty. So, first, we have, by the way, where'd it go? Oh, right in front of me. Courtesy of Bill Kavanaugh, Wild Turkey Generations. Let's put it in the right one. That's a single Rick Generations. Wild Turkey 17-year Bottled and Bond. America. Almost gone again, this one. I will miss it. I will miss it. Man, it's still such a heavy cork. That's such a, the stoppers on these things are just awesome. These Masters Keep corks. Do the Masters Keeps still have the big heavy corks? I haven't had them. This is the last Masters Keep I owned, is a 17 Bottled and Bond. Haven't purchased one since. This is 13. America. Courtesy of Jimmy Copeland. Thank you, Jimmy Copeland, for this. Russell's 13. What a guy. Cheap stoppers. Cheap corks in these buggers. Then single Rick. America. All the Ricks I know are single too. Boom. Single Rick joke. Nice. My pours are just on point. Where'd I put the stopper? Oh, found it. And then, last but not least, 15. America. Bottled and Bond is, actually, I don't even know what's the proof on the Generations. Generations, oh shoot, is the highest proof. Had 120.8. The Bottled and Bond is the oldest, but it's only 100 proof. How will that play out? We will find out soon. All right. We also have something new today, something brand new. Here's a single Rick joke that you might not like, right? I heard he slept alone at night. So, do you feel you'll be able to spot the 100 proofer in a sea of 117s? Maybe. It's not a fear, though. It's not a fear. I ain't scared. So, I got an Amazon package delivered just a few days ago, a few days back. It was from Thrasher, who sent this along with a note that says, please use this, because the Julie-like wheel of confusion scares me. And it's like a... It's like a plastic Julie-like wheel of confusion, but smaller. So I don't know why he wanted me to do it. I don't know why he wanted me to use it, because it just makes it worse. You know what I mean? Like, why would we want two? I think two things is much more difficult than one, right? But whatever Thrasher wants, he'll get. All right. This is your fault, Thrasher. I don't know why you make me do things like this, but I do love you. So we gotta do one this way and then one that way? Like, kind of like this? How do we get the... Gotta get this going first, and then this way? No. How do you... Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, now I have no idea. Now I'm really confused. I have no clue. Oh. That gets my heart racing. I'm feeling something again. And we're done. And we're done. Thanks a lot, Thrasher, for the spike in the heart rate. Can I remove it? Oh. Oh. Oh, safely landed. Maybe he just wanted me to do this. That would have been easier. If I just did that, that would have been easier, huh? Whatever. 1, 2, 3. It's a bad 3. 4, 5. Oh, I almost spilled it. All right. How many spills has the Wheel of Confusion ever caused? 1, I think. I think 1. Pretty sure 1. Picked up your Evernorth bourbon pick yesterday, and it's amazing. Thanks, Joe B. But thanks, Sagamore, for distilling it. Have you had the other Master's Keep 17? Yeah, a long time ago. That was the one that was aged in like a cellar or something. It was really low proof. Yeah, I had that a while back, like years ago. TV Yankee fan, $5 super chat. Thank you. What a guy. Wonder how the rare breed would fit in here. The rare breed would fit in very spiky and nutty. It'd be very sharp in this. The glasses aren't moving. Is that because they were going in opposite directions? Did it make it look like it wasn't moving? That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I need a Vanna White to do the wheel? No. My wife would hate that. Maybe I just need my wife to do it. She confuses me all the time, so it'd be easy for her. BK91 is a complex banger. That turned out so damn good. The 91 August release, Joy and Barrel King, become a gold member. West Slope or Metro? On the Western Slope. All right, let's start with one. Do I have my notebook? Make some notes. Probably not. I have a little book. All right. Oh, wow, I've got a Bardstown Bourbon Company pen and a little Bardstown Bourbon Company book in my hand. Sheesh. How the world comes together sometimes. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'll take notes as I go to myself, just so I don't forget what's happening. Wait there, all right. Glass numero uno. Giving it a good swirl and a good twirl. That smells like old wild turkey. That smells like chocolate covered cherries. This is going to be a lot of the same notes. A lot of the same notes here, I'm sure. Just in different levels of intensity, oakiness, probably mouthfeel, stuff like that. But I'm imagining a lot of the same notes. It's oaky, it's cherry, it has a little bit of a funk to it. Oh, this is glass 5. I'm so, look at that. What am I doing? I guess I'm starting with 5. The cherry is not quite medicinal, but pretty close. Go for a sip. Wow. Good grief. That is like a spiced cherry. Like you soaked a bunch of cherries in whiskey and ate the cherry. It's like a spiced cherry bomb. Hopefully nobody's on an airplane watching this on speakerphone. That's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be very, very hard to beat. What do I do? Do I go to 4 or do I go to 1? What do I do? Where's 5? There's 5. So I guess we'll go to 1 and we'll go around the horn. Glass 1. This one has a little bit of like a funky, like a stone fruit on it, like a squishy peach. And the notes on the first glass 5, were a lot deeper and like more rambunctious than this glass one. This one smells a bit more ethanol forward and sharp, not quite as deep and complex as the first glass I tasted, which was glass 5. Wow, that's confusing. Sip. Yeah, that's really good too. A lot of the same thing is going on with that, except for a more pronounced oak profile. Seemingly a bit thinner, not quite as viscous and oily. So a bit thinner, a bit oakier, and I'd say slightly astringent, more astringent. This is going wonderfully. This is going wonderfully. Let's see what we got here. Going back to chat. Right? What Michael Mites? What happened to Michael Mites? Enjoying my last week on active duty. I'll be retiring next Friday after serving 20. Michael! Thank you so much for your service, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. Send me an email. Send me an email with your address, Michael. I want to send you a thank you gift. You might not get it for like several months, but you'll get it. Akuma Rex, I have a Tyrone A that I'm trying to get through. It's not offensive. It's just nothing special. Nothing that really keeps me coming back to it. And that's said, they're all single barrel bottles, so yummy. Was that a Kentucky Spirit or a Russell's pick? Patriot 7's taking notes. Yeah, I got really lucky with the 15 year. I paid a little more than MSRP, but it was literally in the store like 3 minutes from my house. Just got lucky. I got there before anybody else dumb enough to spend that much money on bourbon got there. All right, glass 2. Hey, Jim Maselli's here. Matt, what do you say to those who suggest that finishing, staving, or double barreling bourbon is kind of faking it? It depends on why they're finishing, staving, or double barreling. If they're trying to replicate an older whiskey, like if they're trying to make something taste older, then yeah, it's faking it. But if they're just trying to create a different flavor profile, if they want to create a double barrel flavor profile, or different type of staves, or different type of finishing barrels, then that's totally perfectly fine with me. Like, a lot of the stuff's really good. I'm not a big fan of double barreled and toasted stuff, but like double new charred oak barreled stuff, not a huge fan of, and toasted, not a huge fan of. A lot of the stuff, but there's a place for it. People love it, so that's not bad at all. But if they're saying that we stave our, like, we have a way to make our whiskey taste older, and that's not how that works. The only way to get an older tasting whiskey is to age it in new charred oak for an extended period of time. So there's no, what do you call it? Damn it. Substitute for time in a barrel. But you can still make damn good whiskey with, through other means, that's for sure. And you can make bad barrels drinkable. You can turn a bad barrel into something really good by finishing it, staving it, or double barreling it. Did I find a Rebecca Creek 12 year? I mean, I have not found one. I got an email from someone saying that they can get me one. So if that's so maybe I might be locked onto one. We'll see. Oh, 1 millionth Evan Williams here. Is aging whiskey in Texas making it? Oh, like Rebecca Creek? No, I think that's really smart. However, the age of that whiskey was really smart. Like that turned out phenomenal. Because turns out, I guess it's MGP finished, or MGP aged in Texas. But it must have been like aged in, are there basements in Texas? Turns out, like some states, the ground is adequate for basements, other states not so much. There's got to be basements in Texas. I'm imagining there are. But those barrels must have aged in some sort of basements, because whiskey in barrels in Texas for 12 years seems like a recipe for no whiskey in the barrels anymore. And if there was, it tastes like sludge. Glass 2, which is actually sample 3. Yeah, I know. Oh, wow. That is a Luden's Cherry Cough Drop, and I love those. They're so good. Shh. I don't even think that they're cough drops, and they're like lozenges. But have they ever stopped a cough of mine? No. Are they responsible for maybe 3 to 5 pounds of body fat on me? Maybe. Yeah, this is a Luden's Cherry Cough Drop. Heck yeah. Go for a sip. That's doing the twists and turns. Super oily. Oh shit. See what I'm doing? Oh my gosh. I've got my whole shit screwed up. I put the notes on 5 for 5. Then I put the notes on 1 for 1 on 4. That's 1. 2. 3. Wow. This is classic me. Really. Jeez. So that was glass 2? Yeah. Super oily, super cherry, super oaky, but the most complex one so far. This one's changing on the palate. Like, you can almost feel it, like shifting gears, like mid-finish. There was like sugariness, like burnt sugars mid-palate, oak on the back, cherry on the front, but the way it transitioned through those was awesome. And I love that. Complex, cherry, road. Complex cherry road. Damn, that's good. This, you know what? I realize why people were doing this now. Now I understand why people were doing this flight. Because they're just spoiling themselves. But I think I'm the only one who put the 17 bottles and bond in it. I haven't seen anyone do that yet. So, raising the bar. Raising the bar. Sample 3. I was moved by your performance in the latest Bourbon Junkies video. So when we were in Missouri, so hot. I was so hot and so sweaty. And then Sean kept pointing the camera in my face, and I'm like, you know, I'm used to sitting here talking to a camera on a tripod, but not talking to a camera with Sean behind it. And then when Dan was behind the camera, I just couldn't get Sean's face out of my head. So I treated Dan like I treat Sean, and I felt bad for both of them. But it was just maybe I was just hot. I was just hot. But that blend turned out friggin' awesome. Like, I hope that a lot of you get to try it. Yeah, excited the Barrel King will be at the St. Louis Bourbon Festival. Can't wait to try some bottles. Barrel King will be there, and I will be with them. That's an air horn. Or whatever. It's a cow horn. I'll be there. St. Louis Bourbon Festival in October. Can't wait. I'm going to climb the arch from the outside. I'm in Podunk, Colorado, and the stores have the worst liquor section I've ever seen. Ken, that sounds a lot like where I used to live in Michigan, up in the Upper Peninsula, where nobody lives there, so they don't get stuff. But where in Colorado, Ken? I'm on the western slope, like Glenwood Springs, like west of Glenwood Springs. So there's not a ton here, but I guess traveling to Grand Junction and stuff is not bad. But when I lived in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, terrible. Like there was a store that got some stuff. And the rest of them were like, I guess to get to a better store than the one that was local to me in the Upper Peninsula, it was like an hour and a half drive to another store like in Wisconsin, on the border of Wisconsin. Maybe they bought 11-year MGP barrels and aged them in Texas for one summer. Dylan, that's also possible. No basements. Ground is way too hard in Texas. Damn. Well. Oh boy. Oh, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. This is really, really good smelling. This is an oak bomb with like a mixed berry jam. Like if you ate a really good, like a diner breakfast off the inside of a new charred oak barrel that's been aging whiskey for between 13 and 17 years. You can almost smell the layers of barrel. Like if you think about it, it's like, oh, there's some vanilla there, there's sugars there, and then like the bourbon pops out, and it's like, hey, what about me? I smell ya. You mixed berry bugger. All right, this is glass 3, which is 4 actually. Down the hatch. Wow. Sheesh. Glass 3 reminds me a lot of glass 5. When I said spiced cherry bomb on 5, I think that 3 is like right in the same vicinity. This one, they both like had a flavor explosion that just took over and then slowly diminished. I'm not sure, but I think 3 might be a tad oakier, but I'd have to go back to 5 to side by side them. All right, and then there's one left. I'm going to let my palate just take a little bit of a break. All those flavors are just still there. I love it. I love it. No basements on the Alamo. Is that a quote from Pee-wee's Big Adventure? That's funny. Ken's in North Texas, and there are basements. In South Texas, no, you have to blast the rock to dig. Gotcha. I don't think Texans are afraid of blasting rock. I love this. It's like, this is like Googling anything. If you were to like, hey Google, or hey Siri, or Alexa, are there any basements in Texas? You just get two answers, yes and no. Like anything you ever search for on the internet, all of the answers will vary and you don't know which to believe. Texas can have basements, Florida does not. Well, because Florida's like below sea level already almost. Pee-wee's bike is in the basement of the Alamo. Gen X represent with Ludens. What am I? I think I was born in '84. I was born in '84. What does that make me? Late 1984. I think I'm a millennial, but I think I don't know. I think I'm like right on the border, the Porter border. Dan had me so confused on which barrel was which. Out of what? The Rise? $180? No, so that was the second time I saw those guys. That was like a month ago. Yeah. The beginning of July. When I went to Evernorth, we left Evernorth for just a quick drive, and because Dan was picking up an Elmer Tea Leaf from a store he got the lowdown on, and there was the Stag 23C that was also at the store that I purchased that I gave away last week. From Marty won that, but I picked that up on that same trip. But then he bought a Monster, and he's like, I'll take the Bookers too, and the lady was like $180 some and whatever cents, and I was like, no shit, what? And he's like, I'll take it, and I'm like, what? Then I thought to myself, well, he has two items, so and then I realized that the second item was a Monster, the same thing he did. But we left the store, and I was like, did you just pay $180 for a Booker's? And he's like, yeah. I don't know. You get when you're up at, I get the same way. You get a little like, I get counter shy, where like if someone gives me change, I've got to like shove the change in my wallet as fast as I can, and like throw coins everywhere because I'm afraid that the person behind me is gonna lose their patience with me because I'm being too slow. I think that's what happened with Dan. He just gave in, was too afraid to say no after he said yes. Will Barrel King be in Pours in the Park in the future? I don't know if they're going to have a booth. I would imagine that it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But I know Sydney's there this weekend, I believe, and I'm sure that she brought some stuff. So I'm sure you'll see her for show. Salida. Going to visit Breckenridge in a few days. I'm going to hit the distillery there. Nice. Soured on Bookers. I think it's just a nutty whiskey thing. I truly think that when you start drinking whiskey at first, or start drinking, like, it takes a while for your palate to develop into. I think it never changes. It never stops developing, but that nutty note starts to not be great for a lot of whiskey drinkers. Like, it just kind of sticks out after a while. But when you're a newer whiskey drinker, actually, nuttiness was the very first note I ever got out of whiskey, ever. And what product was it on? Nope, that's a lie. No, that's not a lie. That's true. Nuttiness was the first note. The second note I got was on a larceny. I got a vasectomy, and then after my vasectomy, we went to Meyer, and I bought a bottle of larceny. Then I sat in bed and tasted it, and I was like, this tastes like shit. I can't remember the tasting note I got on it at the time. But I was super pumped that I could start like smelling and tasting different notes. But nuttiness was the first note I ever got. 3, 4. Bread, maybe? Like, I think I got like a bread out of larceny. Something like that. Some sort of like a warm bread or a baked bread. Oh, there's a hair on there. Look at that. Can't see it. Oh, you can kind of see it. Okay. This is fudgy, like a cherry fudge. You know, fudge sickle. What bourbon got me hooked? Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. You're the same age as my brother, millennial. I'm 1979. Hey, my brother is 1980. That's funny. 84 makes you young. Makes me a whippersnapper. You're a millennial, but since you're a youper, that makes you honorary Gen X. That's how I feel. 81 to 96 is millennial. So my brother is Gen X. That makes sense. Elder millennial. Yeah, I like that. Did you already pour the Russell's Reserve 15? I'll pour when you do. It's in one of these glasses. I did pour it, but I'm not sure which one it's in, which glass that it's in. This is the fudgiest of the bunch, like the darkest and richest of the bunch. All right, go for a sip. The fudginess continues. That is like a cocoa. Like a brownie, like a burnt brownie. This one is kind of more like, it's flatter, it's oily, but it doesn't have the fireworks that glasses 3 and 5 had. And doesn't have the complexity the glass 2 had. This kind of seemed more like a really good one note. That's leaving a fudge on the back of the palate. The term smooth came into my head when I sipped it, because that's kind of how it just like, it was very delicate on the palate. Delicate, smooth, whiskey buzzword. One note. All right. So I need to retaste a few of these. 2. So I'm going to retaste 3 and 5. This is 3. How am I 4 minutes behind in chat right now? Interesting. This is why you go back and do it again. After glass 5, glass 3 lost some of its fireworks. Now to 1. Or no, 5. What the hell? What did I just taste? 3? Or 1? What did I just taste? 5. Okay, yeah. Jeez, man, get your shit together. 1. Wait, no. This would be 5. Why is there... Uh-oh. 5. 1. This has got to be 2. 2. 3. 4. So I must have just retasted 3. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, now let's go to 5. Look, that's why there's issues here. That's why there's issues. It's a mess. My note, I should have restarted taking my notes the second I started. Should have restarted immediately. Mason Barnes, I just signed up for a Barrel King Gold membership today. Can't wait to get my first bottle. Any recommendations? Yeah, so I'd have to go back to see what's still available in the store. 91 is the blend that I did with Jared, Dan, and Sean, the Bourbon Junkies, and Ryan of Bourbon Outfitter. That's awesome. That's really awesome. 92 is stupid good too. I'm trying to think of what to recommend because as a brand new Barrel King member, I think that if you were to go back and purchase like an older bottle or what's available still, you can kind of get, Barrel King does have it's a uniqueness to it, something that makes it Barrel King. It has its own profile. And then a lot of people who taste things that I've blended for Barrel King say that my blends have another profile that is similar to Barrel King, but they can tell that it wasn't blended by, they can tell the difference. So I don't necessarily know which way I would go as a brand new member. I would say 91 is awesome. 92 is great too. But to get a baseline, the reason I'm conflicted is because 92 is special, but it's really special when you understand that it fits with the Barrel King profile and it's not just MGP. So I think that 92, anybody who buys it or tastes it will love it, but the people who've been members for a while will really appreciate it even more because it's using, different elements. It has a little bit of North Carolina distillate in there, and it still maintains this awesome Barrel King profile. So I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them. Like, I think they're all damn good. 88 was really good. Cherry Cola was awesome. Stag Lee was fantastic. My blends are 85 and 81. 85 is weeded, 81 is not. They're all just damn good. So literally anything. You'll be happy with anything you get. Long story short. Short story long, more like it. All right. I'm trying to finalize my order here, but a couple of them are really difficult. Three. Trying to get my order right, you know? I don't want to half-ass it. I want to get it right. Justin Potts was here 8 minutes ago. What's up, Justin Potts? Mike Green, tell our super chat. Thank you, Mike Green. Hey, brother. Ended my Navy career in September and looking for a suggestion for a retirement bottle. Me and my buddy blinded batch to the future Stag Lee Cherry Cola and Chocolate Stag. Retirement bottle. Well, Mike, thank you for your service. I was talking with my kids the other day about, like, what, by the other day I mean around the 4th of July, we were talking about, just talking to the kids about what it means for someone to serve for the country and how selfless you must be to do that, and how when we find out that someone served, it's important to thank them, because like, we live the life we live because of the country we live in, and we didn't have that choice. We were born here, luckily. We were luckily born here, and people like you make it possible for us to do that and live in the best country in the world. So thank you, Mike. A retirement bottle? Blinded batch. Which one did you like the best out of those? Let me know. I'll think about a retirement bottle suggestion. Email me, actually. Email me which one you liked the best, and also email me your address, Mike, please. Or an address where I can have something sent to. Matt, could you walk us through your tasting process? How do you taste? Well, I don't know. I'm really mostly focused on, like, I learned this term from Jared, palate movement. And the term I learned, I'm not even sure if my definition is the same as his, but it sounded smart, so I use it. just how the whiskey sits and like the experience you get when you taste it. So it's like, what does it do once it hits the palate? Does it like take over? Does it like dissipate quickly? Is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it like, what does it do on the palate? The majority of things that, I don't want to say that. It's funny because you can have a whiskey that has all the best palate movement and explosions and like oiliness and like remarkable stuff that happens once it hits the palate. Just like fireworks and like, but taste bad. Like a lot of Texas whiskey has this like really good mouthfeel and viscosity and just like fireworks, but it's like the worst fireworks show. It's like just stuff's blowing up and it's all brown. It's like brown and it smells bad. It's like people exploding manure in the air on the 4th of July. And you're like, good grief, is this a great show? But holy crap, I don't like it. You know what I mean? That didn't explain anything. 5. Damn it. That's a hard one. Then back to 4 when throwing a sip. It's funny. I just tasting through these. If I tasted through these and made a determination based off of my first sips, the results would have been different. But going back after I tasted glass 4, going back to the ones I thought were standouts made me realize that they didn't stand out as much as I thought. If that makes sense. I was after tasting glass 4, then going back to 3, I expected glass 3 to be like, hello, welcome back, Matt. Glad you're here. Hey, punch you in the nose, would you? But it didn't. It was more like, hello, Mr. Porter. I hope you come back here. And it was a little bit more tame than I remembered. So I do have an order, and my order is this. In last place was glass 5. That's wrong. In last place was glass 1. What? Wait a minute. Yes, because glass 1 was the second one I tasted. I thought that glass 1, although really, really good. Shit, I didn't even retaste glass 1, did I? 1, 5, shit, that's 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, this might screw everything up. Okay, that's easy. It's good. It's really damn good. But it's the thinnest and produces the least amount of flavor. It's the odd man out for some reason. It doesn't stand out as, I would say that in this flight, this one belongs the least. And it is glass 1. Glass 1. Make sure I have the right glass. Glass 1 is... No shit. I loved that when I had it when I reviewed that. I absolutely loved it. I think I reviewed that blind, or was that a different one? Generations was last. All right, so Wild Turkey Generations was, it came in last, the Master's Keep Generations. Now, fourth place and third place, I tasted them back and forth a lot. I'm pretty sure this is the order. But fourth place, I have glass 3. And glass 3 is 13. Russell's Reserve 13 in fourth place. Third place, glass 5. Glass 5 is Single Rick in third place. So, two and four. Is this 4? Yeah. Okay, I'm confident with that. And so, second place was glass 4. First place was glass 2. The runner-up is, that's what I figured, Russell's Reserve 15. After retasting glass 2, glass 2 is the 17 bottle Le Monde. It takes a lot for a lower proof whiskey to beat higher proof whiskeys, but the complexity of glass 2, glass 2, the bottle Le Monde 17 year, just overtakes the rest of them. It does. It's the only one that you sip, and it changes and does weird things. Like it literally has the best tasting experience. It's oily, it's concentrated, it's viscous, it's Luden's cherry cough drops. But the way that it transitions from the front to the back is what makes it a fantastic, wonderful whiskey that I absolutely loved in 2020, when I think it was my runner-up for Whiskey of the Year, which going back, I probably would have put it number 1. If I were to retaste that list, it would be number 1. But 15 year, like I said, when I first tasted it, was flatter, softer, more of a one-note whiskey. But that one note was amazing and oaky and fudgy and just really, really damn good. The funny thing is, when I first went through it, the 17 bottle Le Monde did not stand out as lower proof. It held its own against these ones. But when I just tasted it that last time, that's when I realized which one was which. Just because it was less aggressive, but not in a bad way. Like, a high proof whiskey is, in most of the time, if it's the same quality as a lower proof whiskey, the high proof whiskey wins. It just is more concentrated, more powerful. In this situation, though, the 17 bottle Le Monde, damn, that bottle's good, is just a more put together complex. It's like a once in, you don't blend something like that every day. Like when they blended that and then they tasted it, they're probably like, what the fudge did we just do? Eddie, what did we just do? Jimmy, you know what we just did. We just blended the shit out of that. That's amazing stuff. 17 bottle Le Monde still wins. Your 2 to 5 was the same as my 1 to 4, but didn't have the bottle Le Monde. Great blind tonight. It's time to pour another glass of whiskey and go out to the patio for an Alec Bradley cigar. Best thing I can put in my mouth tonight. Thank you, Michael, for reminding chat that tonight's live stream is brought to us by the finest cigars ever produced by man or alien, or AI, or I don't know, like Microsoft Paint, anything that could ever produce anything cigar related failed to compete with the producers of an Alec Bradley cigar. And if you don't believe that, then you've never smoked one. Alec Bradley cigar, the finest cigar and the best channel partner you can imagine for a Friday night live stream. Thank you, Alec Bradley, for sponsoring this live stream. I love you more than I love... Not that. I like that more. Let me think. Most things. Most things. Let's finish out tonight's live stream with this. A complete left turn, something that isn't even on the radar of what we've been tasting. Completely different. But if you remember back, if you remember back to when I tasted a rye blended with Armagnac that I said was yucky, that I wish I could bring back to the store. Turns out, guess what? Developed a nice friendly relationship with Bacta. They just keep sending me stuff and they're like, hey, we watched your videos, we watched your live streams, and we dig it. Do you want some more Bacta? And I can't say no, because the rye Armagnac blend was my least favorite, but they just keep getting better. But this one's completely out of left field, a completely different one. Just got this today. FedEx delivered it. My wife signed for it. And there she is.
I need a water.
She needs a water. Oh, let's see, over 2 bottles. Yo.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It's this. It is where to go. Finishing the night out with this Bacta 2012. It is, oh, it's Armagnac cask finished. I did not know that. I did not know that. This is a 2012 Indian single malt whiskey. Bacta 2012 Indian single malt whiskey tells a story of Indian heritage and worldly time in a bottle unlike any other you've had. Released at cask strength of 113.8 proof, this exceptional 10-year, 4-month Indian single malt was made from 100% 6-row North Indian malted barley sourced from, I was doing so good, Rajasthan, damn it, and finished 131 days in our 1982 Armagnac casks. Super cool. Just can't get the top off it. Ow. All right, here he goes. Hoi! Oh, wow. It's going to smoke. Smoke. Go on, do it. Oh, you missed it. You guys missed it. When stuff is like bottled at a lower elevation and then sent up here to higher elevation, the pressure in the bottle is higher than the pressure outside the bottle, so the corks just be popping. I wonder if I have any, I'll have to look. So this is 100 and what did I say? 100 and something proof Indian single malt. 10-year, 113.8 proof Indian single malt finished for nearly a half a year in Armagnac casks. I know I have a bottle around here that I brought back from Michigan that hasn't been opened yet. Let me see. That's not one. Crap. W. Harper, is that one? Maybe not. What did I bring there? I brought, oh, I know. Hold on. I want to see if this one works. I'll be right back. That'll teach me to organize stuff. I did a bunch of organization. Not right here, but over there. And I thought I knew where this was, but I was wrong. So this hasn't been opened since our trip. I don't think. We'll find out in a second. And if my memory serves, that's correct. And if my science serves, this cork should be under pressure. Damn it. I was wrong. That wasn't very good, though. Oh, that was in there really good. Well, never mind. Unless... we're not done yet. We're gonna... Hold on. That's not it. No. No. There's one. No. 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 77? Nope. No. 80? 86. 90? 81. I had to dig through some stuff. Oh. Probably all that for zero payoff, but we'll see. Got it. I don't think I opened these since we got back either. And I know for sure that I opened these in Michigan because I shot the review. It says batch 89, Barrel King Stag Lee. This has got to be under pressure. It's got to be. Shit. Oh, there was one. There. Still uneventful, though. When we moved from Michigan to here, there were like corks popping out of bottles. I was like, what is that noise? I came in the garage and bottles without corks in them. They're just popping out. That was not... Have you organized the floor whiskey? Some of it. Some of it. Sheesh. What's people talking about the Bush stuff for? I've never drank Bush. No. Since Hulk Hogan came out with his beer, all I drink is real American beer. And I don't even drink it. It's in my fridge and it sits there. All right, this is the Bacta 19... No, what the hell? Bacta 2012. Armagnac finished Indian whiskey. That's different. That is raisins, both golden raisins and raisin raisins. It has a single malt note to it with an Armagnac note. It's like two things have combined here. Like an old inflatable boat. Not like the new stuff, like not like a new inflatable kayak, but like an old one, an old rubber boat, and raisins. That's the nose of this. Old rubber boat and raisins. Wow. That's wild. It's bright up front, like a single malt. Like a good single malt. And then it turns darker and Armagnac-y on the back of the palate. And then the finish shifts into like a mixture of both, where it's like a spiced raisin. Like you left raisins, like you seasoned raisins with all the seasoning in your spice cabinet. That's different and very good. That's a Matt Madness pour right there. That is a Matt Madness pour if I've ever seen one. Don't tell people who are going to play, but a 10-year-old Indian single malt finished in Armagnac casks has Matt Madness written all over it. Like, that is a key Matt Madness bottle. When will it appear? Maybe not till next year. But it will appear in a Matt Madness, because that's a perfect Matt Madness bottle. Hell yeah. JD single malt. Yes, I have. And I'm neither here nor there on it. It's fine. It's fine. How does it compare to the Rare Character Exceptional Series straight malt? It doesn't. They're wildly different. Like super wildly different. The Exceptional Series straight malt doesn't really taste like malt for some reason. They're totally different, but this is still very, very good. If you pour one of the other Bacta next, you could have Bacta back to back. That is true. That is definitely true. Have you put Foursquare in Madness? What the hell does that mean? Oh, no, I haven't. No, the rum? No. Yeah. I like this. If I had sophisticated friends, that's what I'd pour them. Like, get that, dig this. And they would adjust their tie. They'd be like, that is remarkable. That is some of the best stuff that I've ever tasted. Sophistication is what they would say. I imagine that's what they would say. Got to put barrel-aged Fireball in that madness. That's funny. My best bowling score? So, not great, but all right. Actually, this says a lot for our summer league, but I bowled I'm a very inconsistent bowler. I bowl with 2 fingers, no thumb. But I know that's like an amateur move to do that. To not do it two-handed, but to do it one-handed, but that's what I do. And I'm perfecting it every time I go bowling. Every time I bowl. But I'm very inconsistent. Because the problem with no thumb is you lack accuracy and you're using more muscle and your timing's different. It's a different game when you're bowling without a thumb. But I think my low game this year was, it was under 100 in league. It happened. But highest game was the second best scratch score of the season for anybody in league. It was a 247. So a 247 is my high game. I've bowled a 245, not in league. So I don't know. Very happy with my 247. The 247 game should have been higher, but my 9th and 10th frame were bad. Not great. Or maybe just my 10th frame is poor. Anyway, 247 is my best game. All that to answer one question. Jeez Louise. Watching you and drinking whiskey in G-Wood in your neck of the woods, Matt. What are you doing in Glenwood? Are you in the hot springs? Are you at the hot springs? Summer hot springs are maybe a bad idea, but also kind of a good idea. Once the sun goes down, the hot springs are all right. We've made the mistake a couple times of going to the hot springs during the day in summer, and it's like 100 degrees outside, and then you get into a 102-degree hot spring, and you're like, oh, it's hotter in here. And then you get out, and you're like, this is just hot altogether. Hot springs are more of a fall, winter, spring thing. But that's what Glenwood's most known for, is their hot springs. And we love going to the hot springs. Hells yeah. TV Yankee fan. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. All right, you guys are terrible. You're terrible, and I don't allow that. I'll allow it. But you're terrible. You're definitely terrible. That's going to be it for tonight. The Bacta stuff, if you're into single malt and you like an Armagnac finished whiskey, I don't even love single malts that much, but that is really good. That's something that I could see myself pouring from time to time if I'm in the mood for something like wildly different. I enjoy that quite a bit. And I think that anyone who enjoys a good single malt will really like that too. If you have to pick a partner for a doubles palate battle, who is it? Jason? Josh? Dutch? If I have to pick a partner for a doubles palate battle, who is it? Well, that depends on the game. That completely depends on the game. Because you don't want somebody who thinks too much like you. You want somebody who kind of thinks a little bit different. If you're giving an answer together, if you're giving your own answers, then either Cam or Dan shook. If I was on a team with somebody trying to earn high points, if I was looking for somebody to, if we were to make an agreement together, like if we had to submit one answer as a double, as a partner, somebody who thinks a little bit differently than me, I'm not looking at chat because I don't want any. And there's that. I would say Sean. Definitely Sean, because thinks a little bit differently, could provide information that maybe I'm not thinking about. And then if we lost, I'd completely blame it on him and not feel bad about it. So yeah, probably Sean. I picked Sean as my doubles partner in whiskey tasting, and then blame it on him if we lost. There's nothing worse than going into a competition just loaded to the gills with talent and then losing. Because how do you make an excuse? You really can't. It's like, you know what, they were better than me that day, which happens a lot of the time. Most people are better than me, but I like to go into a competition with a bit of a crutch, a bit of a limp. Like, oh, I broke my ankle and my knee and my hip. And they call that a Sean. They call that a compound Sean fracture. Just blame it on that. hard to repair. But if you stay off of it for 3 to 4 years, the rehabilitation process will be difficult, but you might just recover. Will you ever walk with 2 legs again? I don't know. But we can all overcome a compound Sean if we really put our minds to it. But I do love him, though. I do love him. I'm out of here. I know Sean is awesome. Sean's the best. Oh, we got one last super chat before I say goodbye. Damn, I love this channel. Henry McKenna 10, Eagle Rare, Jack Daniels 10, Batch 3. I think that if they went in a... So this is the thing. Henry McKenna 10... So if I knew what they were going into the flight, if I knew that there was Henry McKenna, Eagle Rare, and Jack Daniels 10 Batch 3, my order would for sure be Jack Daniels 10, Eagle Rare, Henry McKenna, if I knew what they were. They're different enough where I'd pick out the Jack Daniels, pick out the Buffalo Trace, but if you sent that to me totally blind, and I had no idea what I was tasting, Henry McKenna might win, because Henry McKenna does awesome in blind flights. Henry McKenna blinds remarkably well. Jack Daniels 10 would probably still win, but Eagle Rare would probably come in last, for sure, if it was totally blind. You mean my friends from Michigan? You know, that's silly. It was a silly thing I said. Jack Daniels podcast. They are my friends, and they are from Michigan. No, it's not a lie. I was just told not to bring up other people or other distilleries and stuff, so I didn't. Anyway, I'm out of here for the night. Thank you, everyone, for joining. If you are going to Pours in the Park, or Bourbon in the Barn, or Pours in the Barn, or Bourbon in the Park, you know, whatever they're calling it this year, enjoy yourself, have an awesome time, behave yourself, stay safe. All good things coming out of all these meetups. And I can't thank you enough for joining me. I appreciate each and every single one of you, even you know who you are, TV Yankee fan. Love you guys. Have an awesome night. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Good night. Barn in the Park.